Good evening. Happy Monday. Back at it again. Atlanta News First Alert meteorologist Patrick Pete with your evening weather update. Things have been a little bit quieter today than we've seen for the bulk of the last week, but we've still been tracking some spotty showers out there. Want to get you planned and prepared for what's coming down the pipeline, and those rain chances are going to be with us as we head through the next couple of days. Our next First Alert weather day is going to be a lower impact First Alert, but it is for Thursday. We're looking at scattered rain and thunderstorms being possible. Looks like we'll see a little bit in the morning and then another chance for that in the afternoon. Some of that rain could be on the heavier side, so that's the reason we're first alerting this day out of all of the next 7 days, mainly because our soils are saturated. We've had afternoon showers and storms for the bulk of the last week, hit or miss in most locations though, and with the grounds getting saturated, that could potentially cause an issue if we get some heavy downpour. So we'll be watching for that on Thursday. Here's the lay of the land right now. And you can see that there are some scattered showers and some stray rumbles around. The thunderstorms really have been to the north of Atlanta for the last couple of hours. We've been watching Fannin and Gilmer County. Now that's moving through towns, Union counties, in extreme North Georgia in the mountains. Another cluster of showers and thunderstorms to the south and west starting to make their way closer to the Columbus area. I'm going to be watching Pipes, Lamar, Upson County later on this evening. You may get a little bit more rain and a stray rumble of thunder, but severe weather not likely as we head into the evening hours. Going to keep that rain chance at about 20%, so real hit or miss through the overnight hours. Still going to be a little bit muggy out there. Temps fall to the lower 70s by early morning. 72 degrees for us here in Atlanta. I think we'll be upper 60s once you head into the suburbs. And then as we head into the day tomorrow, another chance for some showers and thunderstorms, mainly later in the day. I'm watching extreme northwest Georgia because you could see some late morning showers, but I think our best chance won't arrive until after about 4 o'clock, especially for areas that are along the south of I-20. Scattered rain and rumbles of thunder will be around as we head into tomorrow evening as well. So if you are making plans to get out and about tomorrow, maybe you wanted to go for an outdoor run, I think you're okay earlier in the day. There's going to be clouds to block the sun, and we are relatively dry, a spotty shower, but nothing overwhelming. The real action doesn't occur until late afternoon, early evening. That's going to be our best chance for some showers and storms. Temperatures fall into the mid-80s tomorrow afternoon, so not unseasonably hot like we saw just about 7 or 8 days ago, which is a win. Heading into Wednesday, dry start in the morning, but once again, the afternoons are going to be where we see most of this energy dominating the forecast. Scattered showers and some rumbles of thunder around 4 or 5 o'clock. Not overwhelming, but we do expect more of this moisture to lift northward as this boundary creeps back towards the north. I think Wednesday night will be pretty wet, so if you had plans to maybe do dinner and then a movie, you're getting out of the movie at 10, 11 o'clock, don't be surprised if it's a little wet out there. Some of that moisture will be around heading into Thursday, but we expect morning showers and then another chance for afternoon rain and thunderstorms. That's why Thursday is the first alert weather day. And as we extend out the forecast through Thursday night, we're talking about most areas picking up another 1 to 2 inches of widespread rain. I do think we'll have some neighborhoods that get a little bit more than that, where we get some slow-moving thunderstorms or where we just get training of these cells. So can't rule out some isolated totals up to 3 inches. So reasons for us to stay weather aware as we head through your Thursday. But the unsettled weather pattern does not stop there. Rain and thunderstorm opportunities are going to be with us as we head into the weekend, unfortunately. To be quite frank, Saturday and Sunday, the rain opportunities are pretty spotty, but they're there. So there's a reason for us to talk about it. Much like this past weekend, I wouldn't go canceling any plans for this. This is really just going to be run-of-the-mill thunderstorm that are really just going to be very pop-up-ish and very, spotty. So something we'll watch. Temperatures will start to rebound a little bit. I think by next Monday, we're back at 88 degrees. So there's been a lot going on, in the world of weather. I do want to zoom back out and get you guys this 7-day full screen because I know you all thoroughly enjoy being able to take a look at that. But I also know that you are interested in the news of the day, and there has been a lot. Obviously our news team has been on top of all of the developments in the presidential election. There have been some changes. There have been some things that have shifted. And now that things have shifted, there's lots to talk about. People's reactions, local reactions, Democratic reactions, Republican reactions. That's not my line of business. My business is watching the skies. But luckily for us, we have a young man, a very talented young man, who's only 5'10", 5'11", but he's talented. He's very familiar with all of these events that are going on. His name's Alan Devlin, y'all. Make some noise for Alan Devlin. He's going to come in and get you up to date on what we know. Alan.
A round of applause there. Thank you so much, Patrick. You got to give yourself some credit, though. You know a lot about politics, too. You just get paid to talk about the weather.
Hey, that part.
There you go. There you go. Everybody, thank you so much for joining me here at the Atlanta News First Alert desk. Like Patrick just said, I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown of everything that's happening with the politics in our country as it stands right now, because a lot is changing, and it is changing fast. First thing I want to do here is pop up a nameplate for you, so now you know a little bit about more who I am. Let's talk about this shakeup over the weekend. This is the second weekend in a row we've had something happen in politics that has captivated every headline in America. Just last weekend, we were dealing with former President Donald Trump getting shot at a rally. It nicked his ear. Thankfully, of course, he is okay. He then rolls into the RNC, 4 days of coverage there. He gives his big speech on Thursday. He names his vice presidential candidate in J.D. Vance out of Ohio. You go 3-4 more days, we get to Sunday, and then Joe Biden, the current president and the presumptive Democratic nominee, that was going to happen later in August at the DNC in Chicago, drops out of the race. Now, this is all, of course, because of a number of events. It really, really culminates into that disastrous debate from Joe Biden earlier last month, where he stepped into the arena with Donald Trump, and America and Democrats and Republicans alike felt like his age was getting to him, and he did not respond in the way that he should have. He didn't seem strong. He didn't seem mentally fit. And that's what you've got, and that's not me speaking. That's the public speaking. That's Democrats speaking. That's Republicans speaking. Senators, former presidents, everybody saying the same thing. There was even rumors that his former president, Barack Obama, the person he sat under, said the same thing, where Joe, it might be time to step aside. So what we have now is Kamala Harris, his vice president, the current vice president, stepping into that ranks. Now, mind you, she is not the vice presidential, or I guess she is the vice president. She's not the presidential nominee just yet. That's going to come in August. We're not there yet because they still have to actually give her the delegates. The delegates have to vote to make her the nominee. But she is the presumptive nominee because she has the current president and the current presumptive nominee's backing. She's getting a whole lot of political support, and she's actually raised about $81 million in the 24 hours since Joe Biden first announced he was stepping down, and then since Joe Biden endorsed Kamala Harris. This is video of her arriving in Delaware to the campaign headquarters, where she's going to be probably putting together a long, long list of things that she can do over the next 100 days to, in her words, beat Donald Trump. That's what she wants to do. That's what the Democratic Party wants to do more than anything. And what's interesting is here, when you look at some of the numbers that are coming out of this poll, you start to get an idea of where we stand right now. Kamala Harris is basically running on the same platform that her boss, so to say, Joe Biden, has been running on for the last year or so. And so the numbers that have come out of Quinnipiac are showing those numbers if she's running on the exact same platform. She might change something up. She might decide, hey, I want to soften on this stance, harden on this stance. I want to take out this pillar of my campaign, something that Joe Biden was running on, and replace it with this pillar. She, if she wins, would be the first black woman and the first woman to be president of the United States. But she has a long, long way to go. I want to talk about those numbers here. If I can punch up a little bit of this here. Let's see. There we go. You guys can take a look at some of this stuff here. The poll numbers right now have Donald Trump running at 49%. Kamala Harris trails him at 47%. So we're looking at a 2% difference in between these two candidates. Donald Trump is now the Republican nominee. He was locked in last week. Kamala still has a little ways to go, but it's a 2% difference, which falls within the margin of error for Quinnipiac. Now, you may or may not be a believer in these exit polls and these pre-polling day polls, but that is how we track these candidates, and right now it is technically, virtually, too close to call. What does that mean? Not much, because we've got a long, long way to go between now and then before we have any idea of who and what will be running this country. There's been a little bit of pushback in the last couple of days here with, some Democrats are a little, like the public, like us. Some Democrats are a little frustrated how they feel like they didn't really have a say in what will likely be the presumptive Democratic nominee in Kamala Harris. They voted for Joe Biden. They voted him in. The delegates were going to enshrine that in August, but with Kamala, it was more of a selection process that was out of our hands. Ultimately, though, the Democratic Party is beginning to rally around her in a way they were not doing with Joe Biden following that debate. So now we have to wait and see if Kamala Harris will be able to be the first female president in American history, or if Donald Trump will roll right back into the White House for what will be his second term in about 12 years here. So we're along for the ride just like you guys are, because there's so much happening and it is nonstop. This has been a whirlwind of a month in politics, in American politics. A lot of it, spurring out of Georgia, being Georgia is such a battleground state, and it's so important for the both presidential nominees, or Kamala will soon be a presidential nominee, it's looking like. I think really what it's going to come down to, as it did in 2020 for Georgia, is going to be the black vote. It really is. It's going to be a lot to do with the black vote, men and women and black African Americans in this state deciding who they want to support, if they're going to vote in the first place. Black men and women are what gave Joe Biden Georgia as a Democratic presidential nominee for the first time in, I believe, 30 years, since the 90s, maybe, if I'm remembering that correctly, for a Democrat to win Georgia. Kamala wants to do it again. She wants to take her old running mate and make it happen again. So we'll see if that is the case here. We've got, again, 100-something days before we actually get to that point. But you're going to be seeing a lot of commercials. You're going to be seeing a lot of ads, a lot of them probably running right here on Atlanta News First. Mind you, we don't pick whose ads run and when they run. The candidates pick that. So I know a lot of you guys might think we're selecting the ads that run. We do not. We have nothing to do with that. But we are in full swing, and we've got another big shakeup that just came down yesterday. We're going to continue to wait and watch it and monitor it for all you guys. Stay with Atlanta News First for the latest updates on this political season. It's going to be a bumpy one for a number of reasons, but we've got you covered from front to back. Look, we're going to be back on air here in about 2 hours on Atlanta News First Peachtree TV with myself and Savannah Louie. Following that at 11 o'clock, myself and Sean Gables will be back on air on CBS Atlanta News First, talking about not only this Kamala Harris stuff and this former President Donald Trump stuff, but a lot of other local stories that are also impacting you guys out there. We've got an arson attempt. We've got a school that's still housing the kitchen for the local jail. So there's a lot of stuff coming down the line here, and our reporters are spread out all over the metro to bring you that live coverage. We'll see you beginning in, like I said, about 2 hours on Atlanta News First on Peachtree TV. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you guys there.